What if I told you your bank account is silently bleeding money and you don't even know it? Every year, you hustle harder, you earn more, you save more, but somehow everything feels more expensive: gas, groceries, rent, even that iced latte you use to treat yourself to. You're not imagining it, you're losing purchasing power. And the silent killer behind it all? The CPI inflation rate. But this isn't just another boring economics lecture, because today we're going to expose how inflation is strategically used, how it directly affects your future wealth, and most importantly, how to play offense, not defense. And yes, by the end, you'll know exactly how billionaires stay 5 steps ahead of inflation in 2025. But we'll get to that. Let's talk about CPI, the Consumer Price Index. Sounds fancy. But in simple terms, it's how we measure inflation, how much prices are rising for the stuff you and I actually buy every day. Now here's the thing. CPI is supposed to be our truth teller. It's the government's way of saying, hey, don't worry, inflation's only at 3.4% this year. But wait, have you felt like it's just 3.4%? When rent jumps by 15%, groceries are up 20%, and your paycheck is stuck in 2022. You're not crazy. You're being misled. Imagine if Netflix told you they raised prices by 2%, but suddenly you're paying $27 a month. CPI is kind of like that. Polite on paper, painful in reality. CPI is calculated based on a basket of goods. Problem is, the basket doesn't reflect how real people live. It's outdated, it's averaged, and it conveniently underestimates what we actually spend money on. It's like judging a 5-star meal based on how good the napkin was. Here's the worst part. The lower CPI appears, the less the government has to pay in Social Security increases, cost of living adjustments, and even debt interest. Think about it. If they control the narrative around inflation, they control how much they don't have to pay you. But if you think the CPI is the villain of this story, you're only half right. Because in Act 2, we're going to talk about the real puppet master behind the curtain, and how inflation may not be a bug in the system, but a feature. Let's zoom out. Why does inflation even exist? Sure, sometimes it's caused by supply chain shocks, energy prices, war, but deeper down, there's a bigger play happening. Inflation helps governments reduce the real value of debt. The US national debt is over $34 trillion. Paying that back? Nearly impossible. But if you inflate the dollar, you quietly reduce the value of that debt over time. It's like owing your friend $100, but next year, $100 only buys $80 worth of stuff. Congratulations, you just paid them back in Monopoly money. And guess who pays the price? You, the saver, you, the wage earner, you, the one trying to build wealth, playing by the rules. If you don't understand inflation, you'll become its victim. If you do, you can become its master. And the wealthy, they do understand it. They don't save in cash. They don't rely on fixed income. They move into assets that rise with inflation or beat it outright. Stocks, real estate, businesses, commodities, alternative stores of value. But here's the question. How do you, without millions in the bank or private wealth advisors, protect yourself? That's where Act 3 comes in. This isn't about fear. This is about strategy. You don't need to be a billionaire to beat inflation, but you do need to think like one. Here are 3 moves you can start making today. 1. Stop saving in cash. Start parking in assets. High-yield savings accounts are better than nothing. But the real goal, move into assets that grow faster than inflation. Think index funds, real estate, REITs, gold, even strategic crypto. 2. Increase your income faster than prices, side hustles, digital skills, freelance markets, remote work. If your income doesn't outpace inflation, you're running backwards. Money doesn't sleep, but it does get eaten alive by inflation. You can't afford to stay still. Third, track real inflation, not just CPI. Create your own personal inflation index. Track what you spend on monthly and monitor those price changes. Because once you see where your money's bleeding, you can stitch the wound. Inflation isn't your enemy. It's a signal, a challenge, a test of whether you're playing the money game to win. And most people, they never even realize they're playing. But you do, and that's your unfair advantage. Now, if you want to take this even further, I've got another video waiting for you. How billionaires protect their wealth in 2025. We'll break down exactly where they're moving their money and how you can ethically copy their blueprint. Even if you're just getting started, click it on your screen right now, because the wealthy don't wait for inflation to knock. They prepare before it does.